Hi Stacey and welcome to my channel. Today I am just basically doing a cover to match this. So I'm using some colours here that will match that. Completely forget about the black, but doesn't matter. I'm thinking I should have done that perhaps in white. That would have worked. This is some acrylic paper there. So that's what I used for the background. I thought, well, that's about the same colour as this. So I thought that would be perfect. Right, so today's video is about designing this cover, okay, using rubber stamps that I recently made that are accurate. So I'm using some accurate rubber stamps, and then I'm designing the rest of it. I think that looks quite nice. I've done all the, I've photocopied, I've scanned it. This is on normal paper, so it's not very bright. And that's time on, so that's normal, that's time worn, and that's time worn saturated. Hasn't come up so nice as sometimes they do. Totally different, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, what else it's all about is, I thought I'd have a go at doing Natasha from Treasure Books journal. So all it is you make 5 signatures, and I've sewn them in. You can staple them, you can do them all separately, and then you join, where is that, the signatures together by the covers, so that inside can be plain, and you turn it inside out. Okay, and then you put them all together like that. Add some fabric for the cover, and you don't put any glue on this bit or this bit. You just put glue on that. But if you notice at the end, you can see how big my fabric is. It's about that big. Okay, so I've got glued up to about there. Okay. So if you'd like to join me today, please give me a thumbs up. That'd be absolutely amazing. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And let's go. Right, here's the paper I've chosen for this project. That is the black STAYS-ON that I'm using for the foam stamp. Yay, why not? Yeah, so this is the this is one of those foam stamps. I thought, yes, I can guide where they go now because of the nature of this stamp. It's got a clear acetate backing, and you can get junk sort of clear plastic or acetate, can't you? So although this is one from a packet, and it's quite a sturdy acetate. Okay, actually it's quite flexible when it's big, so just try them out. I think they would work. Okay, so I'm making the squared pattern. This is all over this paper. I'll be doing it so far, then I will be swapping to a different area, as you will see. Come on, dear, I know it's going to be some time. Yeah, I'm not going to do many of these voiceovers anymore, but there you go. It just happened a bit. This one seems to suit this type of filming. Yeah, so I thought I'd may as well just show you sort of like, otherwise we'd be, I think it took me 45 minutes to do the this and then the colouring in as well. That colour there, I will show you later, hopefully. Or I might have shown it at the beginning, actually. Matches the flowers and the pattern of the fabric that I'm using for the spine of the journal. Okay, and I do mention it was the one by Treasure Books that I'm using. Right, so I'm filling in some of these squares, actual squares, because I do the design on the other part of it actually, when we get going. Okay. Oh, that looks quite orange really, that yeah, it's sort of that, yeah, just quite, I don't think it matters too much. I do actually try and colour the yeah, there you go, I'm doing some, yeah, see how I'm doing it now, watch how I'm doing it later. I'm being so careful now. Yeah, it's great this, isn't it? It's just it's quite therapeutic. And of course, part way through, especially when I'm doing the white on the black, I start to fall asleep. I don't know if I'll be able to point out where it is, but I know what happened. I did like a double line of well, I completely missed doing the white circles on the black, and had to do another line that was actually on the black. I don't think it would have mattered, and you know, it just became part of the design. There we go. Yes, it's very therapeutic, and you start to get really tired. Right, these are the two covers, sides of the covers. If you haven't seen the Treasure Books journal, I don't know why not, because I bet most people would be aware of it. Okay, it's quite good. See, see what I'm doing now. I'm doing more of a I'm not doing it so straight. I'm doing more of a sketchy sort of. Oh, there I am a bit. Yeah. Oh no, that's the yellow I'm doing in the middle of those. So I'm doing like a vermilion in between the squares, and then I'm doing a yellow in the middle of that. So the Treasure Books journal, I'll just describe it again. I've probably described it at the beginning, but if you don't know what it is, it's got the one I've done again is like 5 signatures. You can put them, you can do this signature, put the signatures together individually. You can staple them. You can put a piece of cord around them or string round them, or you can just sew them in as normal, which I've done. And obviously, if you're sewing an individual signature, it is much easier than sewing into the actual journal's spine. So it's like an alternative of that. And the journal actually turns out quite flat. So that's what it's like. I mean, if anybody does want me to show them how to make one, I can do, but obviously it's a massive Treasure Books thing. But of course you can do your own versions of these things and your own tips. Right, okay, there's the journal. If you notice, it's got fabric on it. The fabric is the spine. There's a certain way of that's the yes, it's starting to make me laugh again, because obviously I remember falling asleep. I don't show you every single bit of doing this either. Otherwise we'll be here for, I think it took me about 45 minutes. I'm just doing a bit of close-up so you can see a bit of what I'm actually doing. I'm actually just doing really rough circles around the edge. They look quite nice. If you notice the colour of the fabric, it is everything except for black. I've added black, perhaps I should have done white squares, but I don't think it would have showed up so well in places anyway. I'm going to do something else on top of this in a bit as well. Of course I get the cover upside down, but you can't really tell. The back's okay, the cover's, yeah, you probably won't even notice, but I do. Yes, and you can use these. I don't know, there might be a way of using pockets in them, but it's probably more ideal for a notebook. Yikes, I think I've fallen asleep then. I don't know if that was the... Yeah, because I'm not showing every single bit. I know there's a bit where I did I've fallen asleep. Yeah, so I'm just showing you a close-up there of these, okay? And you can see they're not perfect circles by any shape of the imagination. Okay, these are the covers again. I'm just making sure they're going to be big enough. Just showing you some close-ups there. Oh, I know why, because I'm putting flower patterns, yeah. But they don't stand out very well, so I'm going to, because it's quite a light colour I'm going on. So what I'm doing is going around the edge, but you can still tell that they're white. So I'm using foam. May as well just do... No, I don't know though, because obviously you've got the white impression, and then you go around the edge in white. Yeah, I'm doing now. Falling asleep again. I can't remember falling asleep during this, but I might have done. So it's very therapeutic, and it makes you really relax. You probably, I don't know, perhaps you could do it just before bed or something, and then think, oh, I'm so relaxed, I could just lie down and go to sleep. Yeah. That's again doing some more, so I hadn't finished them off. Later on I actually finish off, see that where the blue is on the right, I do put some more squares there. I do scan and print it, but I don't use the print, I use the actual original. I've got a scan and a print. Yeah, so again I'm doing some of these little flowers. I'm actually doing it twice as fast. I'm only doing it twice as fast. So I'm now cutting it in half. I think you might notice on the left I have finished doing the whole sheet. Thought I may as well do a bit more before I've scanned it. Okay, taking that off. It didn't seem to matter that it was quite rough. See the colours. Oh, I'm putting the light on now. I'm thinking to myself, hold on a minute, perhaps you see the colours there? They match the fabric. Yes. Bought that fabric from Amazon. Actually, you know, fat quarters. I don't know why, but some people are selling fat quarters as 8 inches by 8 inches. That's actually, there's just one person. That's not fat quarters. It means quarter yard, doesn't it? So, I've bought some fabric recently. Yeah, and made sure they are fat quarters. I got these. I got 7 in this set. Different sort of greeny and greeny oranges. Perfect for my journals, because I tend to put, for some reason, greens and oranges in my journals. Yeah, so, and then yeah, so I'm going to, yeah, I didn't have much fabric for that. You know that thing I made with the double-sided tape? It's in my recent videos if you haven't seen it. I can't remember what it's called now. Using up your scraps, that's right. So I have used some ribbon in it, but I could have, if I'd got some more fabric, I'd have used that. I did use a bit of fabric. Now, if you notice here, I'm not cutting the corners off. In fact, that this is that thin kids paper I use that I've actually done the backgrounds on. So it's acrylic background. Yes, it was just painted on, and then I did the squares on top of that. Okay, so I put that on there. I'm trying to get it in the middle, making sure that none of the corners are on any of the gaps. So now this is permanent stick glue. This is why I'm using it. You can use double-sided tape. You could also use double-sided tape and glue. See how they're quite small these are? I'm actually using a normal sized journal. But the nature of these, they're actually 5 inches by, I think it's like 8 3/5, because that fit the UK journal perfectly. UK journal, UK A4, or the average metric A4. Okay, that goes down a bit, yeah, a bit further down here. I think that's exactly right. So making sure the corners aren't in those gaps. Otherwise, sometimes they poke out and it doesn't have, yeah, I've seen that before in my journal. I thought, oh, what I like. Right, one of these is actually upside down. I don't notice. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not necessarily upside down, really. But I like to have the 5-petal flower. I like to have one at the top. It's actually got 2 at the top. I don't know which one it is. I can't see because it's too small on my screen. Because I'm editing. When you're editing, you use a small screen, yeah. Okay, so getting that down a little bit more. That's the point, actually, because I did notice that it wasn't quite pushed against the side. So I need to make sure there's no spare paper above or below. Yeah, see that goes quite well with that. That's the front and that is upside down. If I turned it round, it'd have been okay. Just getting a piece of paper there. That's the thing I'm measuring to make sure I get the back and the front the same. But I realised later, after I've done it, that I could have picked it up and looked from the top. I'm not gluing that to the edge. Okay, you don't glue it to the edge anyway, do you? Just obviously I'm just gluing it as it is. So I'm gluing the actual first paper of the cover and putting that on there like that. Okay, it's absolutely, yeah, I'm just making sure that's the right length. So if I put it up like that, I can put the other one, I could have put the other one on to make sure it's the right place. Okay. Now you could use like white paper there. That's just the other side of that paper. That spotty paper that's underneath. You won't see any of that when it's in. So I'm putting it against like about 1 inch or so from the edge. I think it's just under 1 inch actually. It's 5 inch. Well, actually, no, it isn't. I think it is about 1 inch because I do actually move it up a bit so it accommodates all the inside papers. See, if I'd done it like that, I'm just checking there. I'm looking at the. That's right. Yeah, there you go. I wish I'd done that a bit better, but this is the one I did first. There we go. See there? It's a good way of checking it's in the right place. Okay, so we're going over to the outro in a minute. Less than a minute actually. In about 10 seconds. Okay, just showing you there the whole of it. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that today. Did it over 2 days. Did this, started the cover last night, finished it today. Okay, journal's got lots of my own papers in. There's only a couple that aren't mine, but I don't know if I've still got them in there actually. Oh, that one isn't. It's all those types. I was looking for some tea-dyed paper. That's what I was doing. Yeah, there's some there as well. Yeah, this has got 5 signatures. Okay. I was thinking what I was actually thinking of doing is doing the cover completely last after putting pockets in and things like that. But I don't know if that would work anyway, but I thought I'd have a go at making it just to see what it was like. And I've used lots of old papers up as well. And new papers, got some new papers in there as well, they're new. That looks, the other bit I think looks quite lacy. That's mine. What is it? There it is, yeah. That looks quite lacy. So I do hope you like my content today. It's such fun, yes. Just thinking, if you did make one of these and you made that loose, that you could fill that all with pockets. And I think it'd be fine. I've left them like that for now. I might tie them all up. Okay, yeah, I've sewn them all in. Hopefully I'll introduce what it's all about at the beginning. So thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, that'd be absolutely amazing, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.